Hey there, pals, grab your seat. Comics Dad's here for a Christmas treat, with pages turning, tales to unfold. Welcome to the Christmas read-along. Christmas read-along, let's begin. With Comics Dad, it's more than a win. From Santa's elves to plots that thrill, let's jump into this comic thrill.
Merry Christmas, everyone. Comics Dad here for a special Christmas edition of Comics Read Along that I'm going to be calling Christmas Read Along. I actually have a couple of shorter stories for everybody today. It's going to be really exciting. These are both a couple of good Christmas stories. And at the end, if you care to hang around after we're done, I just have a little Christmas message for everybody watching. But in the meantime, let's dive right in. Our first story for today is actually going to be Charlie Brown's Christmas Stocking by Charles M. Schulz. Everybody loves Charlie Brown. I always remember growing up watching the Peanuts cartoons for Thanksgiving and for Christmas, and even the Great Pumpkin for Halloween, but the Christmas ones were always my favorite, and I was really happy to find that there was a Charlie Brown Christmas story that I was able to pull up onto my computer and put into the video and share with you all today. After we have our Charlie Brown Christmas story, though, we do have another story, this one coming by the way of Marvel Comics again, from their holiday special back in 2005. In this, it was a collection of 3 Christmas stories. We're going to be reading the 3rd story in that one. But I hope you all enjoy, and I hope that our stories today, and that I hope that I'm able to provide you with some feel-good vibes for Christmas and for the holiday. Without further ado, let's dive right in. Charlie Brown's Christmas Stocking by Charles M. Schulz. In this story, Charlie Brown is going around to all of his friends asking if they're going to be putting up a Christmas stocking this year. Let's see how this plays out. I'm not going to hang up a Christmas stocking this year. I've decided it's not scriptural. 2 stockings? Why not 2 stockings? I have 2 feet, don't I? A Christmas stocking? I don't know if I will or not. Did Beethoven hang up a Christmas stocking? I'm not a bit worried. The way I see it, how could Santa help but bring a lot of presents to a little girl who has naturally curly hair? Grown-ups are the ones who puzzle me at Christmas time. Who but a grown-up would ruin a beautiful holiday season for himself by suddenly attempting to correspond with 400 people he doesn't see all year? What worries me most is how Santa Claus is going to find where I live. On our block, all the houses look alike. Do you realize there's no place in this house to hang a Christmas stocking? I say, let's sue the architect. She's right. How can you hang a Christmas stocking on a thermostat? A house with no fireplace. Oh, the trials of being part of the wrong generation. Somehow this doesn't seem to be the solution. It's almost midnight. Good grief. I feel like the chairman of the board during an industrial crisis. Think of something, think of something. Santa Claus will be here any minute, and all you do is say your stomach hurts. Big brothers know everything. Merry Christmas, Charlie Brown. And our other story comes from Marvel Comics Holiday Special, published in 2005. Within that special edition, there's multiple stories, but the one we're going to be reading today is Christmas Day in Manhattan by Mike Carey. Mike Perkins, Laura Martin, and Dave Lampier. This story features Marvel's first family, the Fantastic Four, alongside an appearance by one of their villains, and I'll let you figure out who it is. There's a weather-beaten brownstone to the north of 80th Street, on the borough of Manhattan's eastern side. 7 stories plus an attic, and the climb is quite traumatic, since the elevator coughed its last and died. Behind a peeling yellow door on that lofty 7th floor, our story starts a year ago today. On the night called Christmas Eve, when even cynics half believe, and when wide-eyed children clasp their hands and pray. Mercy Potter was just 7, Brother Buford near 11, and they prayed for God to bless them with his hand. Adding further implorations for skateboards, bikes, PlayStations, and some candy of a non-generic brand. "Come on, Santa," muttered Mercy, grim of eye and speaking tersely. "Fill our stockings up and silence all our doubt. Though you've let us down each year, in our trust we persevere. Don't break our little hearts by welching out." At the door, their dad peered in, and he grinned a sappy grin, to see this touching scene played out again. Then he slowly turned to go, but a more than glancing blow from a saucepan raised a ringing in his brain. "Why, you bum," opined his wife. "You crummy no good, get a life. Those kids in there deserve much more from you." Then a faked up note from Santa, full of lame recycled banter, and a festive $20 IOU. Albert Potter shrugged and sighed. "I've got no job," he cried. "For an ex-con, opportunities are few." "Just get out there and hustle," Mrs. P said, flexing muscle, "and hope inspiration hits you before I do." Yikes. With dragging steps defeated, Albert gave up and retreated. "I can't go out without a scarf," he thought. But his eye strayed to a door he thought he'd close forevermore, and brought him inspiration of a sort. As a young man, bold and bad, a very different life he'd had. Not Albert Potter then, but Hurricane. At villainy, his skills were rotten. He'd done his time, moved on, forgotten. But now, that other self would live again. The shrieking winds, the bitter chill, would all bow down before his will, the staggering greatness of his destiny. The tempest's wings would lend him speed, the lightning's raven at his need. So how hard could some Christmas shopping be? In his suit, so bright and florid, borne by powers strange and horrid, above the city streets he raced once more. Over the heads of witless fools who lived their lives within the rules. To the tottering tower of Toys department store. But the break-in part was easy. Now poor Albert felt quite queasy, as he roamed the aisles and tried to make his choice. What sort of gift would Mercy like? A game console? A bear? A bike? A doll that speaks in Britney Spears' voice? And would a player for MP3s bring little Buford's heart some ease? Or was a robot dog a safer bet? Beaten by variety. Oh, how strange my destiny. "Mister, the beating hasn't started yet." The punch was quite appalling, and it sent poor Albert sprawling. Through the air he flew, his head and feet reversed. And as action figures rained down, his foeman muttered with a frown, "It's clobbering time. I should have said that first." I'm a living storm, you jerk, Albert bellowed, half berserk. And I've got a top-notch tempest just for you. Just keep on standing there while lightnings part your hair. You mentioned storms. I thought that was my cue. If you rob a store at night, you'd better not turn on the light. Or kick the door in. That attracts attention. Now relax, you've had your fun, and there's nowhere you can run. I do twisters too, did I forget to mention? Get behind me, guys, and cower. Comes the hero, comes the hour. My Nova heat will stop these teddy bears. Now I've got another game for just one player, and the name is I'm sorry, bub. You should have used the stairs. Storm winds came at Albert's call to slow his headlong fall. If a miracle was needed, he could work it. But a paddling pool displayed in his trajectory. If a miracle was needed, he could work it. But a paddling pool display in his trajectory lay, and his generator suffered a short circuit. Clever thinking, Johnny. Natch, and executed with dispatch. Now let's see what he was stealing in his folly. Well, the payroll's just above us in a vault. Oh, good Lord, love us. An iPod and a chatty Britney doll. Through Reed's fine and fertile mind, a suspicion ill-defined passed like dull and thunderous clouds across the sun. I wasn't bent on plots or slaughter. It's a present for my daughter. Now put the cuffs upon me and have done. But the heroes hesitated as their battle lust abated, and they reasoned out the reasons point by point. He was technically stealing, but his motives are appealing. And it was us, not him, that wrecked the joint. Picture that little girlie, Christmas morning, waking early to a big fat pile of nuttin'. It's not good. If we forgive and we forget this once, no precedent's been set. And I hope that's very clearly understood. Christmas Day, the kids had stirred long before the early bird, though they didn't expect much from Santa Claus. But just this once, he'd granted every wish they'd ever wanted. And we hope, in the very best sense, you get yours. That's a great story. I love that one. Hurricanes, just like the rest of us, trying to make ends meet and living on the up and up, but he would do anything for his kids, including go back to his old life of crime. And good on the Fantastic Four for recognizing the holiday spirit and joy and just the overall spirit of Christmas and doing, it may not legally be the right thing, but morally the right thing, and help Hurricane have the best Christmas possible for his kids. Well, everyone, I hope you enjoyed our Christmas tales today. Before I go, I just want to wish you all a Merry Christmas once more. And for those of you who may be having a hard time this holiday season, I just want to let you know that you are loved, you are cared about, you matter, and nobody loves you more than God himself. As today we celebrate the day where he delivered us his son, Jesus Christ. So, if you find yourself down and maybe in a bad place, before you do anything else or maybe think anything else, just take a moment, reflect, and just try saying a prayer and talking to God. Because he loves you if no one else does, but we here at the channel do too. Now, as we go, I want to present you all with the United States Marine Band's rendition of We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Thanks for watching, everybody, and have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.